have no sense.
Yeah,
like
so
their things is burnt. They'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm going out against 100 people.
So you gotta
and
shoot
I'm right in the front.
You gotta shoot there. So you gonna that and that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you staying or you want Jeff to do the 30 minutes back and forth? Okay, so we got it. We're rocking.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's
rocking.
7:15. So 7:45.
It's 7:17 now.
So let's try to get him out of here 8:15.
Yeah.
Luke, a busy man. Welcome to Conversations with Malik podcast show, coming to you from New York. I'm glad to have you, and thank you to all who are listening and watching this show. This podcast is about the stories of transformation of regular people during the basic struggle and pain of life. Everyone has a testimony. We all have survived the darkness. Now let's talk about how we got to the light so we can help our brothers and sisters who still haven't overcome their demons. But guess what?
Talk to me.
We all have devils on different levels. So through conversations, we use the tools of insight to light the path of hope. Let's have a chat and start running from our issues. If we live through it, then talking about it probably won't kill us. That's what we're doing. Talking, crying, laughing, joking, looking inward so we could grow outward is the theme of the show.
That's right.
The caterpillar transforming into the butterfly is the goal and purpose of this podcast. When you talk about you, I learn about me. Iron sharpens iron.
Steel sharpens steel.
So we could cut through the fog of despair into the hope of today. Welcome to Conversations with Malik. And before we start today's show, we would like to ask you to, I'm doing this so much, I almost got it memorized. And we got to edit it. So,
I know, right?
you know.
We talked about flying it in, but, sometimes, this is like the warm-up. So we kind of
Yeah, well, we talk about regular everyday people, and then we got people who are famous coming on the show. So now we got to, I don't know.
Right. And it's good for them to hear it, too. Because I'm thinking, we fly it in, and they don't get a chance to kind of, hear it and feel it.
Right. When we just fly it in and
When we just fly it in.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that,
But the version that I got on there that Kareem had me do 3,600 times is actually excellent.
Oh, yeah, that's great. It's great.
Always exaggerate.
Yeah.
All right, so check us out, convoswithmalik.com, convoswithmalik.com. Instagram at conwmalik.
Mm-hmm. And Facebook, of course,
Facebook at Convos with Malik.
Yeah, follow us, like us, share us, love us. We like to say love us. I mean, there's really no category to love, but
comment.
This is a movement. We trying to keep this going, and we appreciate everybody's love and making sure that they get into our stories. There's a bunch of stories of transformations here. I mean, we've had so many interviews. We brought so many people in, from fitness trainers to people in business, things of that nature. So continue to follow us and share us, like us, and And so how you doing, Jeff Jones?
Man,
the co-host with the most.
I'm doing all right, man. I mean,
You look a little overworked. We've been doing a lot of shows lately.
Yeah. We've been busy.
Your energy's a little down right now.
We've been busy, but I had some milk, man, and it's like, I forgot. Sometimes, I be forgetting I'm lactose.
Oh, come on,
and
bro.
I had some milk, man.
Did you
oh man,
did you take a lactate pill?
I don't take. That's the thing. I don't really take pills. I try to do things natural, like drink tea and stuff like that. A lot of times they don't work fast enough.
You drink tea to help you with the
like green tea,
listen,
and stup. I do things like that. And
listen.
Haitian teas, them Haitian remedies. Them Haitian remedies help you with a whole bunch. Haitians, man. The people from the islands, man, they do some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Put a whole bunch of sliced pieces of onion.
That's nice.
And shake it.
At CVS, they got something called lactate. And if when I know I'm going to be eating pizza or something like that, you just eat one or two and you good money.
Yeah, you're right.
So right now, you're going to be in between the farts.
Nah. No passing gas for me. Usually, when the stomach, it's almost like gas.
Yeah, you're just gonna sit here and hold it. That's why you're quiet. You're trying to figure out how to hold it.
It's mainly belching, so I'll just turn around and just silently belch.
Okay, I got you. And so listen, today we're gonna review the show. We're gonna do the word of the day. And we're going to leave out current events because we have a special guest with us.
Yes, sir.
That I'm honored to have here. We got Luc Stephen in the house. Industry Unlocked, Queens native. Mm-hmm. We was just talking stories from before, and I've admired Luke from afar and near, just being a Jamaica Queens dude, growing up in the neighborhood, knowing about him. I mean, listen, I was in the streets, I was on the block, so there was certain people who you knew of, and he was one of those people. And he was one of those people that I wanted to be like.
Right.
I mean, I did, Luke. I don't know what other way to say it. I always looked and admired you. And so to have somebody reach out to you and you say that you're willing to come on the show, and then look, man, he was hitting me up and he was sending me stuff, and he was like, yo, and I mentioned to a few people, and he was like, oh yeah, well, let me hit him up and let him know that I know you. And it was like, it was all love. So thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, we appreciate
Thanks
you
for
here,
having
Luke.
me.
Yeah.
And it's funny too how you could, I don't know, Luke, but we do have this questionnaire process that we go through when people submit stuff to us, and we overlook it to see if it fits the show. And just reading his his journeys and stuff like that, it made me feel like I need to get to know him and what he did throughout his life, because I'm inspired.
No doubt.
I'm inspired.
No doubt. So, today's, word of the day, you came up with. We've been having some good word of the days. And everything we do is designed. If somebody listens to the show, we want to be entertaining, but we want to entertain people, and we want people to become a better person as a result of listening to the show.
Right.
Right. We want people to feel, man, if some cat at the end of this show hears about what Luke is doing with movies and where he's been, man, I want somebody listening to go, man, maybe I could do that shit.
Right, exactly.
Or maybe I need to start doing something. And if we do that, man, then that's the hit, kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we look for in the show. Like, we want people to embrace a lot of our shows and episodes. Is always, all of our episodes are great, and we want people to embrace them. We want people to
come in, have a seat.
We want people to embrace the shows. We want people to basically see where we at, what different levels that we going to.
What's up, my man?
Chill Will is here in the house. So that's exactly what we want for the show.
Right.
We want people to be inspired by every single episode, because there's something to learn through everything that we do here, from business to music, old school music, from the hip hop, from everything. That's what we want.
And so today's word of the day is patience. And so I'm gonna throw it to you, being that you came up, and then we're gonna let Luke talk on it, and I'm gonna talk on it real quick.
I came up with patience because it seems to be something that people tend to have difficulties with. Understanding that patience is important. It's like, I'm actually standing at a red light, and I'm waiting for the red light to change, and somebody's behind me, and I don't know, this person probably was a police officer or something like that, but they honking their horn, and there's a red light. So sometimes people is just on a hurry, and I just feel like people should just be patient. And it could be pretty much anything. Patience go with, relationships. It comes with your business and stuff. You gotta wait for certain things to flourish before you start really, really feeling like you can make the money.
No
You gotta
doubt.
put in that work.
No doubt.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Yeah, and that's my whole theory of patience, man.
How has the word patience benefited you, Luke?
Well, basically, you need patience with everything that you're doing. Whether it's the relationships or the business relationships. Patience with people's attitudes. Patience when you're working with other people that they're not on the same page that you're on. So sometimes, like what I've learned growing up, because I've had to deal with different characters, because it's usually like a group of people, is that you have to meet the people like where they're at, and you have to accept them for who they are, because you're not going to be able to change them. Like maybe when I was younger, okay, we're going to try to change you by hook or crook or force or whatever.
Right.
But at this age where people is grown, like you got to accept them for who you are. Like, okay, this person is going to be like this. So if you continue to deal with them in a certain way and expect anything different, that's like insanity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to drive yourself crazy. So before I drive myself crazy, I just come to understanding, like, like I'm a co-CEO in Industry Unlocked. Each person has a different personality. I have to learn how to deal with those people and their personalities and their egos. Sometimes I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get fed up with it because I look at it like you should be much more understanding. Sometimes it don't happen like that. So you have to have a lot of patience. And then sometimes I just will like ignore the issue. Like when it gets to be too much, then I kind of like fall back.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. And patience is funny because I was listening to this record with Fab and Jadakiss.
Oh, Fab and Jadakiss, yeah.
Off the Freddie and Jason album. It's called Ground Up.
Oh,
And
that's dope.
Fab kills this verse.
Dope.
And he says, he said, I built this from the ground up. That's how I found patience. And so it's like when you build something from the ground up, you find these qualities through actions.
Right.
And through periods of endurance. That's how you find qualities. And so now when I go into a new business endeavor like this, right? I understand, I'm gonna have to be patient with this.
Right.
Gotta be patient. We just starting. I've started things before. I know what it's like to start things. And you don't start where other people already are.
Right. There you
That's
go.
been doing this 10, 15 years. Malik, you ain't gonna be Charlemagne, and I don't want to be Charlemagne. Like, I really don't want to be anybody anyway, but I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna be to where people are who's been doing this 15, 20 years.
Right, of course not. Yeah.
You're going to have to take your time, make your bones. And that's what I think. We live in this like microwave society that everybody want things
Fast.
and
Right
they
now.
want it from you. They want you to give it to them. They, they think that they get around you that something instant's
Yeah,
gonna
they
happen.
they want a handout.
And it don't go like
They
that.
don't go like that.
So listen, let's get into the interview with my man Luke and Luke. So, like I said, I'm a Queens guy, and from the cars to the blocks to all of the stories, you was like one of the people, like in the middle of it all from the days of Fat Cat. My first idea, I remember me and my boy used to steal bikes we used to go to Rosedale. Me and my friend Mikey, God bless the dead. I wish Mikey would have man, Mikey was such a businessman. If he would have lived, he didn't live past 15. But if he would have lived,
Damn. So he went young,
Mikey
huh?
would have been this dude had schemes to make money. I didn't even know. He was like, we were like 11, 12, 13.
And it be those too that don't live that long.
We used to steal bikes. So he said, yo, you want to make some money? I said, yeah. So we went over to Brookville Park, beat up some white boys, took their bikes. And he said, come with me. So we went over to 150th Street, sold a bike like that. We got on the block, sold a bike like that, right? And that was like our hustle for a
Those
little while.
mongooses, them BMXs back then.
150th Street, selling the bikes. And this was like I'm from Rochdale, so this is my first time.
Let me tell you something,
on
them
South
bikes-
Side.
them
And that's
bikes-
back, so you figure like 86, 85. So 150th Street was like,
And them bikes was
Crazy.
expensive. Them
Yo.
bikes was expensive.
and so as far as I can remember, I remember seeing you in the cars, seeing you just with your swag, right? On the scene. And I was too young to kind of be there. But you have a history from the streets, and not only that, but you've to be where you are now from where you were. Everybody's not blessed enough to make it this far.
But some people can't adapt. You know, just like you asked me about the music, and I say I don't have a specific time for music, because as the music changes, I change with the music, because it's a different time, and I like the music that they have today, and I like the music that they had in the 90s, and I like the music they had in the 80s. What happens is some people get stuck in a time zone, and I think one of the reasons that I'm able to keep moving is because I adapt and I change. I'm not stuck. Like, you know, if someone is younger and they're in a better position, I have no problem listening to the younger dude or taking orders from the younger dude, because, you know, like they say, good leaders were good soldiers, you know, and I believe that I was a good follower. That's why in some cases I become a good leader, as long as the people that I'm with want to be led. Sometimes now you get with people that don't want to be led.
Right.
Because everybody wants to be a chief, and everyone really is not a chief.
Right, they're Indians.
You know, but you can't tell them that, because they're not trying to hear it. So what's a mark of success today is money. As long as you have the money, then they're going to follow you. But if you don't have the money, then it's going to be something else. It's kind of hard to put a group of people together and do a common goal, and no one is leading it that has some type of money. Money's the thing that makes the world go round.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. You know, like some people be like, why am I following him for? He got the same shit that I got. So
I was looking at your history, and I didn't realize, I was reading your bio. I didn't realize that you're Haitian and that you're from Boston originally. When did you move to New York?
High school. That was basically what changed me for the worse, moving to New York. Because at high school, it's like you want to see the girls, you want to get with the girls.
Right.
And I was like a 90 student and playing basketball, and the only one that was getting the girls was the people in the cafeteria. So I started
hanging out in the cafeteria.
Right. Not going to school, messing up in class. So I went from 90s to 42C, got someone pregnant. I have to support my child whenever she's going to be born. So strict Haitian household, you know, like, hey, go stand in the corner. I ain't standing in no corner, and I left. Can't come back until I'm on my feet. Left, stayed with friends, learned how to steal or sneak thief, as they said back then, and started hustling.
So that was
So
when
you moved to Queens.
That's when I moved to New York, from Boston to New York. Once I moved to New York, that's when my life changed. If I
And
had
you was
stayed in
living in
Boston,
Queens?
yes.
Okay.
because that's when, because I was reading somewhere you stayed home with your moms up until the age of 14,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa, because usually me knowing how Haitian, the background of Haitians are, and the strictness, I wasn't ever imagining, like, you must have.
If they're really that strict, Haitians are really strict.
No, they strict. Like I said, I walked out when she said it, and next time I came back, gave her some money, and then I left out again. So once you leave out, you can't come back.
Can't come back.
Yeah.
No, you can't come back home. So it's like I had to make it by hook or by crook. So it was by crook.
And so started hustling.
Started hustling like around Lincoln Park, and I think that's when Cat came home. Me and his niece was cool, so me and him started talking, and I think that he took a liking to me because I was kind of smart, not like the rest of the people that he might have been dealing with, because like I said, I was getting 90s in school.
Gotcha.
So it's like, as far as like developing the business sense, I'm able to do it. And plus, he trusted me. Okay. Not like the other people that's gonna, get something, put something in it, take something out, change it, do this, do that.
Yeah, tap
it was
in the
like,
pack.
Yeah, so it was like, so I guess he's seen that I was kind of different. He liked that I was younger, and then I was smart. And then sometimes he would try to slow me down.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I would be like, yo, we could do this, or I can, you know, like you'd have the scales with the digital scales, and I'm able to break down like, yo, if we take off 1/10 of a tenth on this, so by the end of the thing, it'd be like another extra $10,000. Like, oh shit, word. So it would be things like that, and I might have gave someone advice on a business that he had, and he'd be like, yo, why you did that? He was getting ready to give it up, man. You could have did that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I was watching American Gangster, and you was talking about how much money you had as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
The home out on Long Island, if I remember it verbatim. And I think you said something about having about $500,000 at one time.
Well,
something.
I mean, I think I said that we would have $500,000 bagged up and would be gone in 36 hours on that block.
In 36 hours?
Well, you know that you know how you remember that
Yeah.
block. That block, there was a lot of money coming through that block.
Goodness
Wow.
gracious.
Wow.
So, and we wasn't the only ones doing numbers like that. It was, you had Preem and them down there, you had Danny and them down there, you had a few other people down there. It had to be like $1 million going through that block on a daily basis.
So, are you feeling invincible at this time? Like at that time of your life, are you feeling like?
Oh, at that time,
Yeah.
of course, it's never gonna end. That's invincible. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You just told me a story. Do you think that I am gonna stand in front of someone that has a gun and tell them like before you reach, you're gonna be annihilated? Yeah, I was invincible. I thought I was invincible. Now, I mean, I would be like, yo, over there, yo, I'll be in the back. Okay, you got the gun from him. You have everything. Okay,
Right.
now I'm gonna come. Of course, you think you're invincible
Yeah.
because there's so much money. You know, with money, as we know, brings a bunch of power. So at that time, you had to figure dollar for dollar in the 80s. So $100,000 might be like $1 million now.
Right.
You know, I was buying cars for $40,000. That's like $180,000 cars
yeah.
now.
Right.
So we're paying $40,000. So the money is worth a lot more.
Did you ever think, like back then, did you ever think that with the smarts and the street smarts that you had, did you ever think that back then this could turn into something that could be a movie? Back then, did you ever even, did it even dawn in your mind? You wasn't even the thought.
This was, you know,
This is just hustle.
just living the life.
Yeah.
Just living that fast.
You know, just living the life like, and I guess it can be compared to the rappers because
Right.
you go to the club and you ain't got to talk to the girls, just like, yo, you and you come, just like as if I was a rapper. You know what I'm saying? 3, 4, 5 cars. I mean, there's really no need for 3 or 4 or 5 cars.
Right.
But that was a lifestyle.
Right. Right.
So that's how we lived.
So going through the years, you obviously you got arrested. You talked about the arrest. How long did you go to prison for?
Which time?
Okay.
Yeah, it was
So-
multiple times.
There's multiple times of going to prison, and you know, of course, back then when you go, you just be like, "Yo, the next time, I'm not gonna let them take me. I'm gonna be a better criminal. They're gonna have to kill me. I'm not gonna go get arrested again. Yo, okay, this time when they catch me, they're not gonna be able to catch me."
Right.
And then I think after I did the federal time, that I was like, enough is enough. So it was. Well, matter of fact, it was. I think I was on the run. So at that time, of course, I was with my youngest daughter's mother, Hope. And usually when I was on the run, they'd be like 2 years behind me by the time they catch up, and then the gaps just started getting smaller and smaller. And I think one time they went to her sister's house. So I guess she was like, oh, this is getting ready to end. I need to get away from here. Plus, I probably wasn't the nicest man around that time, you know, messing with different women.
The nicest man. I like how you put it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't the quote unquote good husband.
Not the perfect
I was a good provider,
Okay.
but that was it.
Did she feel the same way?
That's why she got out of Dodge. She was
And
like,
there's a
oh,
difference.
She was like, oh, he's
'Cause
getting ready to go down.
And
So
reason
I'm
why
getting
I
out of
asked
here.
that, and reason why I asked that,
There's a
because
difference, too,
there is a difference, but
between providing and being a good. every good man is sometimes when you hustling.
You think all you have to do is, same with your kids. All you have to do is give them.
Right.
My kids I had no relation with until I came home.
Oh, I got you.
So I had one daughter that understood I was on the run. I had another daughter that was like, I don't care if you was on the run. You wasn't at my graduation. You wasn't on this. You wasn't on that. I hate you.
I mean, you'd be surprised. Like, and that's the reason why I asked that, because I know there's a difference, totally a difference, but
that stings.
Usually as a provider, sometimes a woman, all they do is see that. There are times where women see that as long as he's a provider and he's bringing in a certain amount of money to be able to kind of help the lifestyle and pay certain bills and things of that nature.
Yes, there's some women like that, but some women got morals and values.
Well, I think at that time, because there was so much money, they all kind of like went to it. And I think like, and I can just speak from what I assume as far as like with Hope, for instance.
Right.
You know, she know if I'm on the run, I'm out of town, I'm out of things. One thing about her, she was realistic. Okay, listen, I know he's doing whatever he's doing,
right?
But you know, everything comes to me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it looked like everything was closing in, it was like, you know, I gotta get out this situation. Like you need to go to Haiti because they're not playing and they kicking down them doors looking for you.
Wow.
And you know, they talking about it's over with. And she was gone, married,
moved on.
Yeah,
she moved on. I think that, like I said, I wasn't the most nicest person in the world. Because it's like, I mean, because it's like, it's when I came up, drugs is acceptable.
Right.
So now you can imagine the feds is looking for me. I'm using coke. I'm drinking. I'm doing whatever. I'm making a bunch of money. I'm making decisions on people's lives or livelihood, and my mind is not even correct. So it's utterly chaos. And then here it is. She's with me. Like at any given time, this nigga could flip on me and dump me somewhere.
Right.
Did you ever think at the time,
of course,
taking her advice at least about in terms of going to Haiti at the time?
When she said that, that's when she was.
That's when
she already made up her mind. Like, I'm getting out of this.
Right.
And you know they deport.
I'm getting out of this.
Yo, I know a lot of dudes that come home. And I'm like, yo, where's so and so? They're like, oh, they deported him.
Yeah.
He wasn't originally from here.
Right.
And I'm like, holy shit.
There's a lot of people.
Like when you finish doing the time, you go straight to the.
Yeah.
You don't come home. You don't touch down and nothing. Yo, that's crazy.
But
man.
I'm sure back then the game was a little different. I mean, right now.
No. It was the same way. My mother became a citizen. When I was under 18.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So once you become a citizen, then all your children automatically become citizens.
Oh, gotcha. So then they can't deport you because you're a citizen.
Because they never, like my brother, my oldest brother, he passed away, God rest his soul. He, he was in and out of prison for a long time, back and forth, from using drugs, selling drugs, and things of that nature, but they never deported him. And up until the last time, don't remember what year was it, and they decided to, when they released him, they decided to deport him. He's originally from Bahamas, but of course our background is from Haiti, so they
sent him to Haiti.
They sent him to Haiti.
Oh,
and
wow!
That's where he passed away. He passed away in Haiti.
Okay.
You know.
Wow. So. Industry unlocked. You wouldn't, before Industry Unlocked, you opened some other businesses. What were those businesses?
A couple of restaurants, promotion company, Second Chance, and Industry Unlocked was made before I came in there. So basically, my partner in that company, he had the company, he had the name. It really wasn't, he was doing videos. So I got in, needed to upgrade equipment. I think he was doing a magazine first.
Okay.
So from magazines, we went to movies. So it was his idea to do a web series because I seen what everything else was doing. And like, I'm the type of person, again, like, I told you I did 90s, I got into the streets. So whatever I do, I'm going to absorb, study it, and then I'm excel at it. So
Right.
when I got into restaurants, I had a partner. He didn't want to, he was making $100. I got involved. He was making $100 a day. I got involved. We started making $1,000 a day. But he wants to hang with girls, so therefore now I have to learn how to go shopping. I have to learn the whole
Food.
business aspect,
And restaurant
which
business
is
a tough
right.
business.
which is what I did. So again, once we decided to do this, now like before I used to write, but I never finished. So now I'm coming up with ways to write. I'm always a good organizer. So like producing, that's my thing.
That was your thing, yeah.
That's my thing. I mean, I did some writing. I did write, but the producing aspect is where I'm at. So now I've done other projects with the producing outside the company.
Okay.
So it's like I'm a partner of Industry Unlocked, which is a production company, but I also produce like Black, White, and Blue, which is a documentary on police brutality within the Black community, Black Lives Matter, the
Right.
rise of Donald Trump. I did Black and Bruised. I was a producer, which is a documentary about the abuse of women. Well, abuse of anyone, domestic violence. Right now, I'm putting together. I'm a producer on a reality show working with brother Sean Baker, who is the EP. It's called Life After Dark, which deals with the nightlife, the bartenders, the bottle girls, the promoters.
Wow.
So I do have a company, but I do stuff outside of the company.
Outside the company.
Like I just had a meeting yesterday. Can't say the names yet, but they're kind of up there, and they're creating a platform. So what they want me to do is come up with a program to put on the platform, and then kind of regulate the content to put on the platform. So I have to look for cameramen and other people, because I have to get with another writer, come up with the concept of the show, 15 or 20-minute episodes, and we're going to put it on that platform.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, that's a whole different realm besides, like, I like the movie thing. You know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable with
You
it.
do well at it.
I do well at it. Like I said, I'm a good organizer. So it's like, and people is kind of recognizing me for that talent, and they're coming in and speaking to me. I think what it is that people like my hustle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if they give me something to do, I'm going to be able to put it together.
Right.
So that's what I'm good at. So that's why they rock with me.
Right. And so at what moment did you did the whole production thing, did it kind of become a zeal and a zest for you? I mean, because you got exposed to it, but then...
Well, I think what happened is that when we were doing the first Pray Before You Eat, so...
Which I like a lot.
I did, and then I usually do it, and then I'm falling back because I'm doing transportation, I'm doing a restaurant, so... But it's taking them too long. Like, yo, it's almost a year. All we have is a Canon camera. Like, I could see, like, this project that we're doing now took almost a year, but that's only because we had actors that's have other things to do, and they're doing this on their free time. So now we have to do the scheduling,
Right.
and then it's costing. So it's running. Like, the first two wasn't costing.
Right.
So after 11 months, I had to step in to get it finished, and then I was like, yo, we're gonna do the second one in 90 days, and the second one is when I went fully into it. Then after that, it's just like, okay, now I'm in it.
So
I
it
like
got you.
this.
So I got you. This is where you wanted to be at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I was behind the scenes in American Gangster. That's when I kind of liked it. But now it was just like, yo, okay, this can be done, because it's, I think I'm a pretty good leader. I can organize people and get them to the point. I can lead them to the water. I can't make them drink it.
Right.
So again, what helps out is my partnership in Bribes, which is the best food in Queens. So that helps because everybody wants the food. And my past helps. So now I'm
That
meeting all
Rasta
these
pasta,
I'm
the
meeting
Rasta shrimp.
I'm meeting actors, and I'm meeting other people that know about the past. So it's like that's already a gateway in with them. as far as the respect wise, where they hear me out. As long as I have something that makes sense, then it works. So now I'm at the point like I have that. As long as I have investors to give me money and I can put the cash out there, I can't pay you what these Hollywood people pay, but we can do something.
Right.
They're gonna rock with me
And you're
because
able
they
to
feel I'm
negotiate
about
those.
my business. That's the other thing. Like, okay, he's about his business.
Gotcha.
So some people may say, hey, I'm gonna invest in you, not because they believe in the project. It's just that, well, I know you're gonna take care of your business and you're gonna make it work.
And I see that you really believe in the projects and what you're doing, because the things that you're doing and the documentaries that you do are kind of dear to your heart, because I saw the HIV/AIDS one, and it was creative and it was powerful, and you know the guy had to the guy or the girl, I hope I'm not twisting, the girl had to tell.
No, the guy had to
The
tell
guy
the
had
girl.
to tell the girl
Yeah, and then she flipped.
that he
But-
was HIV positive.
Yeah, but me and Sweet Tea did that together. So
Sweet
it's like,
Tea?
yeah, we were sitting in the car, and she was telling me about the stuff she had, and I said, okay, I got an idea. So let's write this joint together. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I wrote my parts, she wrote her parts.
Wow.
Then we put it together. Told my man to direct it. You know what I'm saying? I had the actors from the Pray Before You Eats. It was just like, yo, all right, come on, let's rock it.
Wow. So Sweet Tea is also involved in.
What
Circus.
inspired y'all to do that documentary,
What, that short film?
that short film?
Well, when I came home, I was a personal trainer.
Okay.
I worked at some different clinics because I was teaching them about nutrition and exercise. So people with high blood pressure, HIV, diabetes. So I come in there to talk. So of course I get cool with the counselors. So a few of the counselors that I met would tell me that they would never deal with someone with HIV. And I'm like, yo, well, how can you teach everyone about it, but you wouldn't? Oh, I don't care. So that's always registered in my head. So when we sat down about it, when we was coming out with Pray Before You Eat, when I was going to the festivals, the white companies want us to blow each other up, kill each other, and do whatever. But the black companies like the BTs and TV ones and all that, they weren't interested in that type of content.
They want meaningful.
They want
content.
meaningful content.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I got to come up with something that's different to show the versatility of
That's
the
smart.
production company.
That's smart. That's smart, because everything can't be and I don't want to listen. There's somebody else that does movies, and all of the movies are about drug dealers,
Right.
And,
About the same
paid in full,
Paid in full.
state property 1, state property 2. Goodness gracious,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, listen, okay, we lived it, we were around it. Nobody wants to see that, all the time.
But you got to understand the era, like you said, with the microwave and the new wave of kids, right? You don't want to see it. I might not want to see it all the time. Them kids want to watch that. If it's
Masses
not,
wanna watch that.
if it's not enough killing, they don't want to watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
boring.
Yeah.
Like
The masses, that's what they wanna see,
We
yeah.
we did when we did Pray Before You Eat 2. We did a screening in the movie theater on Jamaica Avenue, and Chris Gotti and them came, and he was just like, "Yo, gotta do more killing."
Goodness gracious.
So this joint that we're doing now got about 12 or 14 killings.
Gotcha.
Got plenty of violence, plenty of stories.
I seen the
The
shooting
actors,
scenes.
the actors really got better from the progression. Directing got better. Now we have a crew of camera people that we've met along the way that can handle the equipment and the sound. So it's a better look. And again, like I was telling the story, I was in the house and these people called me from a post-production company, taught me about post-production, which I didn't know. So, when I'm showing people this trailer or this film, they was like, well, the dude's going to do the color and sound. What's wrong with the color? I said, well, listen, I ain't got to pay him, so let me see what it comes back. And now when it comes back, I understand, like, whoa, okay,
Post-production, yeah.
it's a big difference. Then I'm learning about the VFX, which is the flashes, and when we're filming, we don't put holes in the wall or holes in the door. So it's like we had a scene where the guy is shooting through the door, then we opens the door to shoot the machine gun. There's no holes in the wall. So, okay, if we're gonna step our game up, let's step up. So, told the people what I need. Like the people I met, they put me with this dude. I said, hey, I need holes in the door. I might need holes in the van. Because, like when you're first seeing it, when they're shooting machine guns at the van, I said, there's nothing going on.
Right,
There's no
exactly.
smoke. It's no nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My people can't figure that out on what to do. Like, what else do we need? Like, we're short on money, so it's like that means you need more equipment for this and that. So, we just evolving at a speedy rate.
Gotcha.
So once I got the VFX guy, he put holes in the door. When he opens the door, the holes still come with the thing. He's shooting. The holes is going in the door and the wall as he's shooting. You see the holes getting put in the wall. All that stuff is post-production. I didn't know that.
Gotcha. So you're learning as you go along.
I'm learning as I go along. Like
New
they can do the blood. They can do, what I'm saying? Like at one time he had fire in there, and I said, take the fire out because that's too much. But just leave the smoke. So they see smoke in the van.
All of that is
Post.
It's post-production, but
Which is where all the money's at.
that's
really.
where the money's at. I was about to say
is.
that.
That's
There's
where
a
all the
budget
money's at.
for those things, and those things could add up, and it could cost a lot. That's one of the reasons why a lot of these movies, even when they in those stages of pre-production and things get very expensive.
So again, I just had some meetings in LA like during BET weekend. I didn't go to BET. One of the potential investors was like, yo, I'm gonna fly you out there. Come, we're gonna meet up. And everyone I seen it because of that look, because it's already ready. Because what they're gonna do is someone's gonna come to you with a deal. They're going to charge you 3 times as much for post. They're going to call you 3 times as much as post. Take that out your budget because that's the other way that they make their money.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So because of my movement and what's going on, like I said, this person reached out to me. He lives right around the corner from my office. His office is in Chelsea. And he's like, yo, this is what I do. I try to show people the way. And like I said, his resume is like 98 movies colored.
Oh, wow. So I'm sure.
He's nothing to play with.
How about the scoring? Like, I mean, in terms of.
Well, my partner, Doc, he was an artist. Dark Side was the name of their group.
Dark Side. Yeah, I remember that group. Yeah.
Yeah, so Doc, that's my partner. So he does the scoring. But my email gets flooded with people that do scoring.
Right.
So as you move along, because listen, in this business, everybody needs a job.
Right.
So if you are hot and you have the people that's going to give you the money, all these people is for hire. Just like, Doc was doing everything before, shooting, editing, scoring. Now we have other people to shoot. Now we have other people that's doing sound.
And it improves the overall quality.
Yeah, because listen, they tell you, and I'm learning, that I should have 2 or 3 editors. Like they're telling me right now while I was getting edited, I should have 2 or 3 people editing at the same time. I don't have the money to have 2 or 3 people editing at the same time. Because what you do is, so now I have to wait when Doc finish it. Because the first thing that they say is, they want to see the edited version. Right. If the story flows, I'll give you money for posts. I'll give you money for promotion. It's an easy sell. So while it's in post production, and that's getting done, now I can go about finding people or potential buyers or licensing it to someone because it's already in post. I've already seen the edited version, so I already know that the story flows. So it's automatic money. Like they've already said, like. When I was in LA, they just said, like, listen, this is easy, $1 million and change. It costs, if the other money comes in after the editing, it came to like 205. If you get, okay, just say for instance, if we got $1 million, whoever brings it in or walks it in, say they take 20% or 25%, it still leaves 750.
Right.
So that's still a nice little thing.
Right.
Even though it took a year to make. now that I already know how the business is, now I can get money from someone in advance. I can get actors
Right.
that this is what they do. So instead of
Now
taking
the
a
ball
year,
starts
I
rolling.
finish it I can finish a film in 30 to 45 days instead of a year. So if I finish it in 35 days, 30 or 45 days, and then it goes to post another couple of, for the next couple of months, because the way you get the money is you get the money to shoot, then you get the money for post, then
Right.
you get the money for
The scoring,
promotion.
the promotion.
Well, that's all that's post.
That's all post.
That's all
as well.
post. So now it's like, if I can do a movie in 45 days, send it to someone in post, now I got someone else that wants to do a movie. He has a budget, bring the movie. Possibility I could do 3 or 4 joints during the year under the company, besides whatever else that I do on my own as far as being a producer, which can bring me a hefty salary,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or paycheck if I'm working on different projects. That's just like they supposed to do a movie on Fame. You got DiCaprio that bought the rights to Queen's Reign Supreme. So you're going to have Scorsese, whatever his name is, Scorsese. You're going to have DiCaprio. You're going to have Jamie Foxx doing Preem. I speak to Preem like, listen, I need to get
Goodness
I need to
gracious.
get that consultant fee. It's like, oh, of course. Like, yo, I'm going to put you in there because who else was around at that time that's left that's going to consult them and tell them how to act?
Right.
I said, well, what about BJ? No, BJ wasn't there in the 80s. So it's like, I just keep pushing that like, okay, let me get that gig.
Gotcha.
Let me get that gig. Let me get that credit because that's something major. That just helps me with my resume.
Now, what kind of
Awesome.
what kind of now, Luke? What kind of
That's
for
going
the consulting gig?
Huh?
That's gonna be big.
Well, that's just like American Gangster. I was a consultant.
When they looking at having that movie, have they started it or they in?
No, they just putting it together.
They just put it together.
It takes years to put movies together.
I was gonna ask, like,
It
what kind
doesn't-
of money?
And that's
is
going
that?
to be a real.
Yeah, that's probably going to be like $50 million or something. You know
What kind of what kind of money you looking at
for a consultant? Consultant, like, okay,
With a
say
movie like that.
if I worked, it's always better to do series. If I worked on, say, a Power, I could get maybe 5,000 an episode, 10,000 an
Okay.
episode.
Mhm.
A movie, you might get 25,000 or 50,000, but then that's it.
Okay.
You're dead in the water after that. It's best to work series, just like if
That's
I'm
why
doing
Netflix,
stuff,
everybody's
if I'm
doing
doing
series
something with
now.
a series, like the actors, I can pull in more actors for a lower rate because if I'm gonna do a series, they know like, oh, this is a job for 5 years.
Gotcha.
Right.
If I'm doing a movie, they're gonna want more money because it's like a one-shot deal. But if I say, yo, I'm trying to do a series, that's like, even when I'm pitching this, I'm pitching like this is a pilot, even though it's the third one. Here, this is a pilot for a series.
Gotcha.
If I can't push that, then it's like, okay, this is a movie. Only thing I'm just saying, if the money comes in and the money comes back, now I can do more things because now I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Some people, like, to the underground, it looks like I'm successful, but no, Negro, I'm still trying to get on.
You're still
I'm
trying
not
to get on,
successful.
yeah.
Like, these dudes is like, okay, you might look like, oh, that movie was $200. Like, yo, in Hollywood, that shit is, they won't, listen, a cheap movie is like $5 million.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to, okay, maybe the next one can be $500,000. Then after that could be $1 million. So when I go to these festivals and I go to these seminars, like I watch like a Will Packer, like, yo, my first one was 500. Then the next one was 750. Then I did $1 million. Then I did 3 million. Then I got 5 million. So, and now they probably say, here's 20 million because he's always making his investors money. The thing is, I know that if I can bring the investors at least their money back, they'll try me again. But if I let them make a profit, they may say, yo, I'm riding in with you again.
You know what that sounds like?
It sounds
like the block.
Yeah. It's the same. Listen, that's
It's like the block, man.
Yeah. That's definitely
it's
what
just
it is.
it's just a hustle.
It's just a hustle, yeah.
It's just a hustle. So the thing is that I know where my lane is. Like, yeah, I would like to go to the theaters, but with the streaming, you don't need all that. You don't need to go to the theaters all the time. You can make it so much. It's like within the next. I went to a seminar. Within the next 5 years, for instance, China streaming will be $25 billion. Everywhere else will be $5 billion. That's how much the money's going to increase. See, like, okay, Doc will study YouTube, and he'll study the gadgets. So he'll say, hey, we need this to do this, or we need this to focus while we're running. That's why it's foggy. So he's essential as far as knowing what gadgets to get.
Okay.
I don't pay attention to the gadgets. I don't care about the gadgets. I care about the business. How am I going to bring this guy back his money? Because I know where I come from. If I can't pay this guy for his money, it's a problem. Now, in this world, usually it's not a problem. They do a tax write-off. But if you have a good name, they're going to give you more money.
Have you thought about overseas?
Yes.
Because
I have a sales rep that sends stuff overseas. That's what they like. The thing I was telling you about at the beginning with the timing, like doing the interviews and going to post and then everything being finished by November. In November, it's something called the American film market.
Right.
It's 300 distributors from all around the world.
All over the world.
That converge. They usually have 3 markets a year. They converge in LA for a week, and people is buying and selling movies overseas.
Yeah, I hear about
so
that.
you know, I met Manny, who did True to the Game. So they did True to the Game. Mine cost them $1.6 million. They put it in the theaters. Then they went to BET. Now they're on Netflix, and then after that, they go overseas. So it's just different stages as far as licensing. Me, I don't want to license. I don't want to rent. If I can find someone to just take it and give us a bulk of money, because we need money. We're thirsty
and
right
then
now.
Whatever they do with it afterwards,
So
it's
it's
still
theirs.
helping you.
It's theirs.
It's theirs, but it's still helping you because your name's getting out there.
That's just like Netflix originals. It's not Netflix.
It's not Netflix.
It's someone like me that
Right.
comes and Netflix buys it and now it becomes a Netflix original.
Right. Now they get paid because
They paid me. I'm finished.
right.
I may say, yo, keep my thing on there. You know, keep the logo of the company or whatever on there in conjunction of.
Right.
But
It's
if
promotion for
you
you.
look at Netflix originals, it's not Netflix. Like Netflix does do films, but a lot of their originals is not originals. They just buy them.
Yeah, because I heard the Roxanne Shante story. I think
I didn't like that movie too much.
Yeah,
I think they could have did better.
Yeah, people felt that it could have been better. A lot of people had.
The way it was hyped, I thought it was going to be better.
Yeah.
Well, I think that she didn't go
And then
into
some of
the
the
dark
actors.
side.
My man
But they had some good
they
actors.
had some
in there.
good
That's some great
actors. So I'm
That movie
thinking,
cost some money.
Yeah,
Them actors cost that they got in there.
because she was trying to, I believe, from what I heard, I think she was trying to have that movie be picked up by Lionsgate, and I believe those are the bigger people. Like, that's like the Def Jam, the Columbia.
Lionsgate is pretty strong.
Pretty strong, right? Mm-hmm. And
Most of the urban films is
Go to
Lionsgate.
Go to
Lionsgate is going to get in and partner up with anyone and get into some things.
yeah, and I believe it didn't go that route, and I think Netflix picked it up. So in a case like that, back to what you said about Netflix.
Well, it depends. They might have licensed it. Like I could license it to Netflix for a year, get some money from it, then license it to someone else, then license it to someone else to follow.
They might license it.
overseas.
oh, I didn't know that.
It's just like
Yes.
music.
It's like music.
Oh,
You can license it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked at ASCAP, and
Yeah.
Okay.
I did
So that's like
Boston,
another
so
way.
And then you get the residuals.
You get the
from-
Yes.
residuals. You can license.
But that's just like your well, this is how I liken it to. Like if I'm doing real estate, because I won't put it in block terms.
Okay.
If I'm doing real estate, I can do a quick sale
or you can do a
or
short
I can
sale.
rent it out.
You can rent it out. Mm-hmm.
I want to do a quick sale.
You want to do quick sales.
Right.
Okay.
I want to do a quick sale. You know what I'm saying? Wife is on my back. Yo, nigga, dude, we don't have no money.
Bills
The hell,
need to be
yo, I remember we
paid.
used to go on trips. All that is out the window. I need money. A
there's
nice
not a
lump
lot-
of money.
There's not a lot that's worth, right, Luke?
Huh?
In your area of expertise, they may
I'm
not
not that much of an expert, but go ahead.
Well, in those
I got some
cases,
knowledge.
In those cases, in your area of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
is everything worth a quick sale?
Well, the reason of the quick sale now is that my partner needs money.
Mm-hmm.
I need money. Some of the team wants to get broke off. And now that if I have a lump of money,
Mm-hmm.
like if I have $250,000. I can go to someone and say, I can probably, like now I know I don't have to buy equipment because you have a company. I can say, hey, I want to rent those cameras to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my partner is the gadget guy. I'm not the gadget guy. It's not economical for me to say, let's buy that equipment. And a row of cameras is $50,000. Doesn't make any sense to buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got these production houses that have 10 and 20 of them.
Yeah.
I can't compete with them.
Can't compete with them, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can look.
Yeah, we back. Conversation with Malik here with Luc Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Industry Unlocked, Vibes Restaurant, the whole nine. Where were we?
Hey man, we was getting into some real good stuff. We was also getting into some of the stuff that the guys do with their intellectual property. That's that has these independent films and they get picked up by the majors. And I wanted Luke to kind of touch on that. In a case like that, like we were talking about Money and Violence. It was an independent film. It was on YouTube. I remember when I got a call from a friend of mine's. He lives out in Virginia, and he used to live in Midwood in Brooklyn. He moved his family out there, you know, his wife and kids or whatever the case may be.
Right,
You know?
right.
He called me up. He was like, "Yo, man, you know, say you Haitian, you should be knowing about stuff like this." I was like, "Why?" He was like, "Yo, that's the series, man. It's like it's on YouTube only. It's called Money and Violence." So he was like, "Yo, check it out, man. These dudes is doing their thing, and you know, one of the main guys or two of the guys is from Haiti or whatever the case may be." He was like, "Yo, check it out."
Shit, all of the main four characters, all of them is Haitian.
Right. So I go on YouTube and I put in Money and Violence. I see a whole bunch of different episodes. Like, well, it's like part 1, part 2. I think it went down to like part 30 or something like that. So it was like when I was talking to him, it was at night when I was talking to him.
Yeah.
It might have been like maybe 12 midnight. Let me tell you something, man. I watched the first one. I couldn't go to sleep. The second one, I couldn't go to sleep. The third one, I couldn't go. I watched the whole. It was
the whole thing.
It became daylight.
It was that good.
That's how good that shit was, man.
Okay.
And shortly after, you know, I heard that they did I think Jay-Z
Title
did some business with them. I actually overheard that they got, you know, a lot of money.
Really?
And I heard they sold the intellectual property of it, which basically means that in a case like that, I mean, you could touch on that.
I think he still has percentage. Mo is, you know, we talk when we see each other. It's not like we call every day. I may send him my trailer. He may tell me what's going on with him. You know, we'll meet up and we'll chop it up.
Okay.
He more or less will keep me up to speed and ask me what's going on with me, and what I'm doing. But you know, again, you know, Mo's an exceptional writer. So even without the Money and Violence, they're going to grab him because of his writing.
Yeah.
Just like I'm trying to push me being a producer, as a writer, he's going to get picked up for different other projects to write. Because he's a great writer.
He's a good writer.
I'm a good producer.
Good producer, yeah.
So you don't want to just lock yourself into one bag. You want people to also know, yo, man, I can write, and so if you need me to do some things for you, I can do those things also.
Well, I think what happens is like he's a hell of a writer, but one thing that he's said to me is that that's a whole different, like, okay, say for instance, okay, we're from the hood, so we might understand why a person or why a girl kills someone. You know, we're not going to ask because that's where we come from. But when you're dealing with a major network, right, that's dealing with a major audience, they want to know, why is this girl robbing people? What made her? Like, you have to show all that. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
We don't have to show that for our audience because you got girls like that. Yo, that's a girl from the hood.
Right.
Yo, that dude shoots everyone because, yo, that's what he does.
Right.
They want to see why does he do that?
How did he become that?
How did he become that? That's not normal. That's not normal behavior.
Right.
So you have to show them.
Gotcha.
So that's the other thing that I'm, like with this right here, what we did with Divided We Fall, I put in a lot of flashbacks. My co-writer was like, oh, I think it might be too many flashbacks. But no, because I go to these meetings and I go to these other places. So I know that this is what they want. So if it doesn't have what they want, it puts the value up. If I can make the story flow, because otherwise it's like, like again, going back to my trip to LA, depending on the editing, they just said that's going to tell you how much money you can get.
Right.
You can just get your money back, or you can get your profit from
your profit from the money. Yeah.
You're going to make a profit because now it's a story. They want stories. I've met people that might do, I met guys that do 5 movies at a time, $2-3 million a movie. That's the kind of money they have. That's all they do. What kind of story, what kind of genre you want? I just want a story. Bring me a story from the ground up, because they want to be in it from the beginning.
Right.
From the ground up, I'll put the money in.
Are those guys, Luke, like them Camerons and Dame Dash and stuff, are they really writers or producers?
I'm not around them, so I don't know what they're doing. More than likely, like me, I wrote, but if I have the money, I'm paying someone to write.
Because I know some people, just like the music industry, Lee, there's ghostwriters. There's people they're not the ghostwriters for the movie. They'll just be like, some people will just buy everything. Like, I'm going to pay you and this is mine. It's like, I know people now. Now I know people that will write a script and I can give them $5,000 or $10,000. That's mine. Now it's yours.
I'm the writer now.
Okay, well, the music industry is similar. Like, you could have wrote Beyonce's song that she's singing.
Which one? If you like it, then ring on
you could have wrote, because a lot of those artists, people think that they wrote it, but it's somebody else's writing it. They might have bought it from that person. But if you understand the business, you're not going to sell the rights 100%, because
you're going to want to have your credit.
You're going to want to have your credit and want to receive some royalties, because when those songs get licensed, then you continually make royalty residuals that comes in.
Right.
And that's why they say the movie thing is a real big thing, because a lot of these guys that are rappers are getting into not only acting, but they want to start also being a producer.
And that was kind of that was kind of my question, because I seen a lot of old OGs and people, they go to, let me get into the music industry and get some rappers and record labels and this and that. But instead you decided to go into movies.
Yeah.
Well, I tried the record shit a long time ago.
You did?
Again, when you're dealing with a group of people that's not on the same wavelength, and that's different. Because a lot of times what happens is, like, okay, I had some artists. He was a producer. So my thing was to get them a studio, or I'm putting in studio time. Again, at the end of the day, and this is a lot of artists, I think that, and I've learned that, like, even with cooks, because they are artists.
Right.
Some of them is not good with business. So some of their business perceptions is not what business is about.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like a person can feel like, okay, I can cook. So that's what I'm bringing to the table. So I'm more important than what you're bringing to the table.
I find that a lot of them is a little bit more savvy these days, only because they're understanding that.
Listen, it takes more than talent. You have to have hustle.
Right. You gotta have hustle.
You have to have hustle.
And you gotta have a good business mind.
If you have talent and no hustle, your talent is basically being wasted, because you're not able to move. So what I lack in talent, I make up in hustle, and then I learn the aspects of putting everything together. But I'm not big-headed where if I know that you're a great writer, I'm going to pay you to write.
Right.
Because I don't need to be bothered. I need to
Mm.
concentrate on this
Right.
business.
Pay people for their services.
I need
man.
to concentrate on this business aspect. So
Yeah.
listen, you right. I'm gonna find someone and I'm gonna pay them to shoot. I'm gonna find someone. I'm gonna pay them to direct. I'm gonna find someone. I'm gonna pay them to do sound. Like movies is a big production. It's you got people that pick the clothes out. You got people that's doing makeup.
Right.
You got people like all of this stuff we're
It's a
getting out
beehive.
of. We getting all the stuff
It's a
that we
beehive.
got around. So now it's like like we may wear 10, 15 hats, but when the money comes in, you gotta do none of that. It's like, listen, I need someone to do wardrobe. I need someone to do makeup. Yo, I need someone to be the director of the line. I need someone to be the director of photography. I
Right.
need someone to shoot behind the scenes.
Right. Right.
All that shit costs money.
Yeah.
Right. But then that opens you up to like kind of stick more on the creative side and the business side and focus on what you need to focus on. Pay people for their services.
It does. I think the route that we took was better because I know a lot of people that spent a bunch of money doing a movie, just hiring people, and they was like, yo, they got beat for here and there, might have lost a whole bunch of money just learning. Whereas, again, underground wise, it looks like we spend a lot of money, but I know people that spent $1.5 million on movies that ain't even out yet. That's not even
out
in
yet.
the shelf, not even whatever. You guys put up $1.5 million, and then you might say, hey, we got beat for like about 300 or 400 learning. What you lost, if I'd have asked you, you would have never gave it to me. But what I'm doing, which is half of that, I'm learning. So now I know what to do with the money and how to do it.
Is the movie business really the toughest business to be in?
I can't say because I don't. The hardest business to me is the restaurant business because you have to
Well, that's
really break your
definitely tough.
That's definitely tough.
You have to break your chops on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
at any given time, one wrong move and your whole business is going to be dismantled because someone might have made a mistake. So
Right.
you got to make sure it tastes good, the salt, the service.
And you
the
only
this,
get
the
one
that.
time. You only get one time to taste.
You only get one time to taste.
You taste one time,
Yeah.
it ain't right.
Open another Vibes. Are you part of that?
That's my partner and another partner.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, but you know, listen, we're all part of it because it's the same family.
No doubt.
so to
And it's the
speak.
same brand.
It's the same brand.
American
Yeah.
and Baisley.
Yeah, American Base.
Remember the old chicken joint?
I would like to. What I noticed that I do is I would like to open one in California or down south because when I go away, whenever I'm in a restaurant, I'm tasting the food and I'm like,
Yeah.
can't mess with it.
Yeah, don't
I make a
taste like
killing.
I'm gonna eat a
And you know
nice
what-
meal.
and you know
well,
what's-
you know we're gonna be there Sunday
Yeah.
at the pop up.
At the pop up.
So I'm gonna get my workout on so I can.
You know what's it's like I always see Vibes and now I'm sitting down with the person.
Yeah, you never. You
Well,
never,
I mean,
you never
listen,
ate from
I
Vibes
never
at
ate
all.
from Vibes.
But well, listen, I'm not the person because my partner owned that building for 25 years.
Right.
Right. What happened is, like I said, when I was going through that hell with my other partner, again, here's someone else. And mine's the hustle. It was a sports bar. So, you know, when it was a sports bar, the Van Wyck Sports Bar, it had some stories. People didn't want to come there.
They want to come there.
No, even when we first opened the restaurant. So this is why there's not going to be no hip hop. It's not going to be no pay parties there
Right.
because people have worked so hard to make it a place where everybody wants to go.
rebrand,
Because
right.
one thing goes wrong, that's over with.
That's over with.
Because they're gonna be
but
like,
that's tough.
oh, one thing goes. I knew it. I told you,
Right.
like, yo, I ain't going there.
Rebranding's tough though, Luke. When a place gets a reputation, that's really tough.
I've had people that I've invited over that says, "Oh no, my man got shot over there. I'm not coming." And then I may see them 6 months later when I'm coming through, like they're getting something to eat. So, the food overcomes all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dudes, I don't want to say the N word, will go wherever some good food is.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Yeah.
They will go. They will forget about life discrepancies, everything else. They're going to get some food.
They sure will.
Yeah.
They sure will, man. And so you got a lot of things going up. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that people can look out for tell people how they can find everything that's coming up, because we want them to be able to hit you up.
All right. So, as far as Industry Unlocked, so you have, well, my Instagram is Luc Stephen, LucRstephen. That's my Instagram. My partner is Industry_Unlocked, which is Doc. Vibes is at Vibes NYC1. Sterling Transportation, that's like a Sprinter service.
Oh, Sprinter service.
That's their Instagram, at Sterling Transportation. And again, like I said, outside of Industry Unlocked, I'm working with a very known person. Can announce it within 2 days. 2 months once we find out the marketing, but that's a platform that I'm going to be working on.
Please let
looking
us
for
know,
content.
we'll
Stuff like
it.
this would possibly go onto that channel. Where to be on your phone, and at certain times such and such comes on. Certain times such and such come on. Not like you go to YouTube and you just click on when you want it. It's like such and such time this comes on, such and such time this comes on, such and such time this comes on.
Right.
That's what he's working on, and it's gonna be it's big. It's not nothing small. The reality show Life After Dark. They have this place called, I think it's Pop Network or Pop TV.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to go there. I don't know if we're going to go there. We're going to go somewhere else. We're still picking out the cast, and I have to write the treatments for the episodes. So I don't know if we're going to get funding to do 4 episodes or 6 episodes, because some of these platforms, they say bring me 6 episodes. So I don't know if the EP got a budget for 6 episodes, or do we have a budget to just do 1 pilot and then try to shop it to we and everywhere else.
Nice.
In this Black, White, and Blue, which is the documentary I told you about, which I worked with Curtis Goon, they, I don't know if we're going to do a historical Black college tour, or is he trying to go to Netflix? Because again, these are just shows that I'm the producer on. I'm not the EP.
Okay.
So I can't give the direction. They may ask me for suggestions, but it's their money that's involved.
Right.
So everyone's trying to make some money.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What else? What else is coming up? That's about the main things. And of course, the baby, Divided We Fall. Hopefully, come November, that will be somewhere, somewhere on a upper strategic streaming platform like a Netflix or Hulu. Someone else suggested to me, like, you could put it in theaters. Like, I can get you a deal for 200 theaters, but when you put movies in the theaters, you have to pay for that. Like, they don't just say, I'm going to take the movie.
I didn't know that.
You have to pay to be in the movies.
Not pay to be in the movies.
Yeah.
So if you're not making any money, so like to me, like unless my marketing game is crazy, because what happened with True to the Game, it cost $1.6 million, and they didn't have no money for marketing. So now you're in limited theaters. You know what I'm saying? I can't find how well Dame did with his movie, but he had it on every single platform and in a couple of theaters. But he had it on YouTube getting paid. He had it on this. He had it on that. He had it on everything.
Right.
Like, I'll study the movies and how it's done. Just like Superfly costs, well, it says it costs $16 million. I didn't see $16 million. Cost $16 million to make it. After 2 weeks, it was like maybe 17 or 18 million came back. So now if I'm them, after 2 or 3 weeks, because just like when you drop a record, it hits its peak, and then after that it's downhill. So if I got 17 million or 18 million back from Superfly and it cost me 16, okay, I broke even. Take it out the theaters because I'm paying and the audience is going to go down. So now I'm going to take it off there, and now I'm going to go do a licensing thing with a HBO or a Cinemax, get some money from that. Then I'm going to do BET the following year. Then I'm going to go overseas, or I may go to Netflix.
Gotcha.
So by the time it's finished, they might double their money.
Right.
Or they might triple their money, but it might take 3 or 4 years for them to do that. It's a process.
Yo, there's a lot with this, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot with this, and
a lot of this movie stuff. Sometimes they were people think is brand new, but they've been shot years ago. They just getting them into, situations.
And it's been a couple of years, Luke, that
that's-
you've been doing this. You've learned a lot.
I mean, I'll go to the seminars. I'll go around
Yeah,
the
you go to
people.
the
I ask
seminars.
questions. I talk. A lot of people like my hustle and grind, so they'll talk to me.
Gotcha.
And then I ask them questions. Like I've met, people know people. Like a friend of mine's that's how I got Antoine Tanner. Then he introduced me to Director Teef. Director Teef put me up with my first sales rep for the first two. So it's like you just have to be, just like a race. If you're not in the race, you can't win. You have to be in it to win it.
You got to be there.
Let me ask you this: where did Sweet Tea come around? Like, I mean, you had that relationship with her in terms of she was always writing.
No. Me and her go back to when she
Sweet
started.
Tea.
When
Music
she worked
industry.
at.
She worked at. I seen
Burger
her actually,
King.
I seen.
She was a manager at Burger King.
I seen her at Kmart one time.
Well, truth be told, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me and her was real cool. I met her through J Bone
Okay.
and Dave McCleary.
Yeah, Dave. Okay.
So they introduced me to her. That's when, again, I was at the prime of my underworld career. Yeah. So it was like, it was easy for her to say, hey, rappers weren't getting no money then. Right. So it was like, this guy likes me, so it was easy. So we've had a relationship for years, and we've always been cool.
That'd be cool because I'd love to get her on the show, man. I'm sure
she's getting ready to do the music. She's getting ready to do. She's doing some music. I know her manager.
Stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
she's not working with Herbie anymore.
No. Her manager is Faze, but she's doing an album. She's got some good music because she's came by the office. We spoke. So I mean, it's like if you want on the show, it's all you got to do is just reach out.
Yeah, I like to get on the show.
You can use me as a reference. She'll come.
I'm sure she has a story.
She works for. She's actually runs. What's the place over across from Jamaica Hospital? It's a drug program.
Not Samaritan Village.
Yeah, she's one of the top dogs in there.
Oh,
no,
nice.
she doesn't work there. She's one of the top dogs.
Nice. Yeah, I would love to talk to Sweet Tea.
I like to bring Sugar. She go by the name of Sugar now, right? Is that her new name?
Sugar.
No, it's back to Sweet
Sugar Tea.
No, it was Sugar, but now it's back to Sweet Tea because last time I seen her, they was coming up with cans because they wanted to make Sweet Tea.
Okay.
That would have been hot.
That'd have been dope. Yeah.
No, they putting that into effect.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, man. Yo, Luke, thanks for coming.
Luke, man, we appreciate.
Please keep us
thanks for
in the
having
loop.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. We are honored. We're honored when anybody comes on the show.
Yeah. I think this is one of the first shows that we brought in a movie.
Somebody in a movie. Yeah.
We've gotten some education from that.
I was sitting here learning, and as you do things, brother, you're welcome to come back anytime. Just hit me up.
Yeah,
you got a new movie coming out. We come
Well,
on.
listen,
You
gotta. When this movie is finished, you need more chairs so that way you can let the actors and everything.
do that.
You know what I'm saying? You let the actors come in here. You know what I'm saying? Let the directors come here, and then you can have a discussion.
Yes.
You don't need me there no more, but you can have all of them there.
Gotcha.
Like I said, hopefully everything will be finished by November. You know what I'm saying? Then you can line up about 4 or 5 chairs.
Line them up.
You can have them standing over there, and they can switch up.
Yeah.
And that way you can get the gist of how it was for them.
And we talked about doing something similar to that. Like occasionally we bring in artists, and we talked about setting it up where they could do a little performance as well while we record it for the show.
Okay.
You
have Kaya Baby in there.
Kaya Baby. Mm-hmm.
You have Sexy Lexi or Lexi from BBOD is in there. What other artists do we have in there? You have Holiday the Golden Child. She's out of Miami. She's in there. I think we got 3 strong women rappers in there.
Okay.
Did they have to cast for this as well? They had to. Was that a casting?
I had a casting, but Kaya was in from the beginning. I approached Kaya right after the first one.
Yeah.
I approached Kaya.
She's from Houston, right?
Kaya Baby's from 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's from out here.
She's from out here.
She was in
Just
the
just Google it right quick. She
Yeah.
destroyed Flex's show and
Yeah, she was
destroyed
on
a few
Flex's
things.
show. I
Yeah.
thought she was actually from out of. I didn't think she was from New York.
She's
Queens,
from
kid.
here. She's from Queens.
What you, man? Southside, son.
I think
Yeah,
she was from
that's
there.
why she says like, "Yo, she's repping Jamaica." Or if someone says something about like, like right now, I forgot. Well, I know Shiggy is hot right now, and someone else. But
There's
I
another
guess,
female that I hear.
Oh,
a
Cayenne.
lot. Cayenne. Yeah, she's from Brooklyn, I think.
No, she's from Queens.
She's from Queens too.
Queens.
I mean, I hear, it's like, I hear.
Where
a lot
would
of these
hip hop
artists.
be without Queens?
I hear about these artists, but I don't really follow them as
Oh,
much.
well, where would
But I do
hip-hop
hear about
be
them,
without Queens?
I listen
Yeah,
to some of the music and stuff.
Hip-hop would be
I-
nowhere.
I like Kaya. I've spoken to some different people on labels. Some of the labels like Cayenne better because he's more
Cayenne is
marketable.
dope.
You know what I'm saying?
She's
She's
dope.
marketable with the body and the looks and everything else.
Yeah. Yes, she is.
But Kaya is one of my main characters. I know her mother. I know her father. You know what I'm saying? So
she
it's
plays the role.
It's a relationship.
Okay.
You know what I'm
She's
saying?
a natural too.
Yeah, she's just
She
natural.
is.
She kills it, and her work ethic. Like we did, I think a brunch. We did a brunch, and her cousin, who's like her brother, passed away. So it's like I had to take her to the hospital. I had to hold her. Like, that's like my baby. Like it's not like my daughter, but it's like what I'm saying. She's just close here. You know what I'm saying?
History, yeah.
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 I want her to win. She's gonna win.
She's gonna win,
killing
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Y'all gonna.
They recognizing her now. You know what I'm saying? They recognizing her now.
I feel the energy around y'all movement, man. And listen, we're here. I'm gonna be watching. Just keep sending me your stuff, and I'm gonna be watching. I love supporting. I'm gonna be rooting, praying.
Okay.
Sending
Well,
the
I'll
good
do
vibes.
that if when you have the pool barbecue, you tell me to come out.
Yo, listen, is that all you want, Lou? For Labor Day. Try to be here for Labor Day if you could be around, bro. Because my pool parties are off the chain.
Yeah.
I'm sure
You
they
know what
are.
I'm saying? And I lay it out.
Yeah.
And then if you're also up here for New Year's Eve, because New Year's Eve at occasions is gonna be off the hook.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now, forget going to Rochdale.
Well, usually, I mean, I used to do New Year's, but most of the time I just stay in the house.
Yeah. Usually
That's
people
nice.
do. Usually,
But
I used to be like go everywhere, but
listen, I got the whole building at occasions, and it's nice.
nice.
So when you come, everything's provided.
dressed to
You
impress,
pay for your
food.
ticket.
You
and
pay
it's
for your
only
ticket.
good people, and it ain't people getting in from the door because I don't play that.
Nah.
Okay.
So if you don't get a ticket from somebody, one of us, you're not coming in.
Right.
Okay.
And that's how it was last
There's
year.
no
It was sold
walk-ins.
out.
There's no
Okay.
walk-ins.
No walk-ins because it ain't gonna be no riffraff.
Yeah.
okay.
Because I'm a changed man, and I don't want to have to revert.
I mean,
and drag you out.
last year was phenomenal.
So
Last
there was
year.
100 people that didn't get it. About 75.
Yeah.
So we rented the whole building for this year. So, but you will be. I will hit you up for the pool party. You're gonna love it. Is everything we do is family oriented and good vibes.
And that's what we about. Yeah.
Love in the air.
Appreciate that.
All right. So
Thanks for having me.
conversations with Malik, Luc Steffens. That's what. Oh, I gotta end with. We love you, and there's nothing you could do about it.
There we go.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.